All right, so a bit of a surprise, I think. No one claimed Odell Beckham Jr., which is a surprise to me. I'm a little bit stunned, in fact, because he was only worth 7 million this year. I get why. Okay, he's saying there's certain teams he doesn't want to play for, but you would have thought some of the teams that he does want to play for would have been willing to claim him and take that chance. I mean, it's basically a no risk chance, really, right? I mean, 7 million. Even if you don't have the money, it's very easy to restructure contracts in the NFL to clear up 7 million in cap space, so that a team could have made it work. And quite frankly, I think there's value here. I think there is value in getting Odell Beckham Jr. I know it's a bit odd with the whole situation, but I figured I wanted to just sort of make a video and talk about, yeah, I do think there is value with Odell Beckham Jr., and I think teams should still try and sign him. Maybe Odell just wants a bigger deal and told everyone to not sign him. I really don't know. Maybe I'll make another video when he eventually does, in fact, get signed. But for now, this is the information we have. So instead, this video is going to be just about what he would bring to his future team. So right here, this play is a good example of kind of really, I mean, Odell is still so shifty, and he still can, run routes so incredible. You can't take that away from him, love him or hate him. So on this play, it's going to be a zone coverage play. It's actually a cover 6 is what they call it, where basically the easiest way to think about it is it's essentially like it's cover 4 on one side of the field where you have a safety and corner deep, but on the other side of the field, there's only one safety covering that entire half. You do this on a play like this where, there's only 2 tight ends lined up towards the top of the screen, but there's multiple receivers lined up towards the bottom of the screen. Gives you a little bit more help, where there's more receiving help. However, because of that, underneath, you can actually get a little bit more space. So this is good news for Odell, who's running this route. And I love how he runs this. So watch. First, nothing too fancy, but then you're going to see him kind of stutter step a little bit. And what I love about this is so clever, is that, typically when you do something like this, this is your move. So if Odell was running a go route, he would probably make a move, but then actually run, a go route, maybe just sort of take a quick step, try to see if he can get him out of position, but then just run your route. But Odell, we know he is not doing that. So watch him still run a little bit further deep and then cut. So sort of the fake cut earlier made the corner believe that it wasn't happening, and he had a real cut a little bit later. So that's really good stuff. And also, again, the way that he cuts is still up there with the best in the business. So the physical talent is absolutely there. There's really no denying that. Like something like this, he's still explosive. I mean, you see this, it's a one-on-one matchup, and watch what he's going to do. Look, there's a little bit of contact at the line, but not enough to slow him down. And I mean, about 7 yards in, he's immediately open. So Baker sees this, and he's going to make this throw. It's going to be interference right here. If it wasn't interference, and there's a good chance that's a touchdown, quite frankly. So not a bad grab right there, if we're being honest. But again, stuff like that, he's still very explosive, and you hope that your quarterback can hit him in those spots. And now that it's not Baker Mayfield, and now that obviously there's the whole penalty aspect of that, but still, those are the plays that you hope that he brings to your team. So right here, what's going to end up happening on this play is that it's going to be a cover 2 zone. And I'm not even going to tell you what route Odell is running right now. He's going up against cover 2 zone, but just watch him and, try to guess what kind of route he's running. So, okay, he's going to get a relatively clean release here. So at this point, what is he doing? Honestly, I mean, he could be doing anything, right? He could be running deep. He could be running towards the outside. He is going to be running towards the inside, which, maybe that's not the most crazy thing ever. You can kind of see that that's a possibility. But what's even more crazy is how he cuts. I mean, look, he's going to cut so far in. So quickly is what I mean. There's just the shiftiness, right, of the way he's, going one way and then just on a dime, he moves somewhere else. It's still up there with the best players in football. This is what made him so effective for the Giants all those years, is stuff like that. But all right, now we got to talk about this stuff, because there's still the question mark of, okay, well, if Odell's still a great player, then why wasn't it working in Cleveland? And it wasn't working in Cleveland. There's no denying that. It wasn't like he was having, no catches or no targets or anything like that. But it's not what we would have expected. And there certainly were some clunkiness when Mayfield was trying to throw to Beckham. So what was it? Well, on this play, you see the coverage, it's zone coverage, and the corner's going to kind of pass off Odell a little bit early. Watch, Odell, starts his route. It's a relatively good route. This isn't anything crazy from Odell, but he is still getting open. So this is something that you should, expect to be a big completion right here. I think one thing is, Odell's kind of a little bit late at turning his head around. That's something I've noticed, is that he needs to turn his head around a little bit quicker on some of these plays. But like for Mayfield, it seems like he is waiting for Odell to turn his head around. And this is kind of that chemistry thing, right? When you see someone like, a Brady and Gronkowski, or a Devontae Adams and a Aaron Rodgers, what you see is that they just sort of know, okay, you're going to see the ball when I put it there at this time. Odell and Baker never had that. Watch Mayfield kind of wait a little bit and then throw once he sees Odell turn his head around, and at that point it was too late. Baker ends up throwing it out of bounds. Had Mayfield kind of thrown it a little bit quicker, there's probably a completion right there. So those are these are the types of plays you hope you get the value out of that Odell probably should have added. Like there's also something like this, where what's going to happen on this play is that it's going to, again, be a good concept. So it's actually quarters coverage, I believe, a little bit complicated, but it looks like it's quarters coverage, which the way this works is with your number one receiver running a route over the middle, this will get the corner to follow him, leaving a safety, a good one, Harrison Smith, but still a safety trying to cover Odell Beckham Jr., which is a tough matchup, especially when Odell has a double move here. He fakes an out and then is going to finish with a go. Look, right when this play begins, Odell, that's just so well ran, and look at how open he is. This is the kind of play you hope gets, a touchdown, quite frankly. This should get a touchdown. Mayfield had just released the football, and again, it's kind of a weird not on the same page thing. Mayfield's throw is behind Odell, but again, Odell didn't have his head turned around. So that head turned around thing is a real thing, and that was kind of the miscommunication, and it just, I don't know who to blame. I don't know, was Eli just really good at figuring out how to work with Odell, or was Mayfield really bad at it? I have no idea. But, that's the good, I think, of Odell, is there still is just this such high upside. So, yeah, that's what I think about this whole Odell ordeal. If you want to know, more thoughts on it, if something comes out right after I post this video, it'll be in the comments. I always do that. I got to say, I'm interested in seeing where this goes, because, you saw those plays. There's legitimately talented plays. I don't think that he is, talent is not the issue with Beckham, and I just wonder if there's more there. I think teams overthink this stuff too much about the bad locker room presence and all of that stuff, because people just view it the wrong way, I think. People constantly view it as, well, what if it goes wrong? Well, the flip side is, what if it goes right? When Tampa Bay signed Antonio Brown to, play for them, everyone kind of said, ooh, I don't know about that. That's a, bad locker room presence, too much of a head case. And look at how well that worked out. He was a big part of why they won a Super Bowl. So, I look at that and I kind of think okay, teams should view that, and teams should say, hey, if we think we can win a Super Bowl, like the Green Bay Packers, for example, where apparently that's the number one place he wants to go, they should sign Odell Beckham Jr. That's how I view it. That's just kind of my mindset, is you don't win a Super Bowl by taking no risk ever. You have to, at a certain point, take a chance. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.